thanks for inviting and putting me here in this esteemed panel. So let me give you a perspective as to how we did the digital transformation first in HPCL. So HPCL, as you know, has a history. It's a very old company. We have our own legacy systems. We have always been focused on technology. So technology was not the challenge. When we started the digital transformation, which was way back in 2018-19, the idea was to how do we leverage the digitalization that was getting prominent. So we partnered with one of the leading consultancy firms, and the process was we did visioning. Then we came out with the as-is status in the organization with respect to digitalization. Then we tried to collate the to-be aspirations that we had. Then we had a clear roadmap as to how we will proceed in the digital transformation. And then we put up the governance in place, and we have started implementing. So this is the journey of the last 4 or 5 years that we had in digitalization. Now, when you say how transformation is going to affect and what are the challenges, with our experience of what we have done till now, so the first challenge that we feel is the silos and the integration that is required. As I said, we are having legacy systems, and when we start this digitalization process, the first challenge that we faced was how do we integrate all our systems which were there in silos. So that was a challenge that we faced. How did we overcome it? We started exploring at solutions which would enable us to integrate systems like your APIs. We looked into APIs and other protocols which would enable integration. We also took a conscious decision that those legacy systems which were not enabling this process, or where the challenge, overcoming was a big challenge, we tried to replace it. Though at the back of our mind, the cost factor was there. So we tried to overcome this silos and integration part through this process. Second was the change management, which was the toughest. People are creatures of habits, and it is very difficult to change the mindset. A digital solution might look very attractive, but actual implementation happens when there is a change in mindset. So change management was the next challenge that we faced. We tried to overcome with our normal processes of communications, trying to put people on board. But two things that I would highlight how we got about with it was, we tried to create change management. Like, for example, a very small example. Well, we had an analytics platform. Now, the proof of pudding lies in the eating. Unless that analytics platform is extensively used by the users, it does not add value. So we tried to create excitement in form of, for example, we did a hackathon where we asked the users to come and build their own solutions there. So this is something that we did. Other challenges have been like data governance, data quality, data accuracy. So we have focused that there should be strong data management principles so that accuracy of data is there and data management principles are followed. So these are a few challenges that we think we faced and where we are today now. Thank you.
Vimalji, your thoughts?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Vimal Goel. I represent a company, HPCL Mittal Energy Limited. I echo the views expressed by my esteemed colleague. See, in a plant, if you see, the reliability of the plant is the foremost important. For them, that is the most important part of what they do in their life. And some of the plants are operating for a very, very long time. They are experts in that, and they always have a view that the way they have set up those plants is the best way it can operate. So they have applied best of the first principle based optimization, what is there in the plant. If somebody goes with a digital solution and say through this, you can further improve the efficiency or bring any kind of optimization, sometimes that statement is not accepted. So creating, that kind of impression, being successful in that is the foremost challenge which you have. And here if you see, there are two parts of the whole show. One is the team of the process engineers and the team of IT guys. You have to marry them together to make this program successful. So the way typically it happens is, first probably you have to do a POC. You take out a small concept maybe to give that kind of confidence to the people. Take a small example. For example, let's say it's a small optimization program somewhere. You try to do a POC and probably take the historical data and try to map over there. In case they are seeing that your model is able to deliver a better result compared to what they have been doing, probably there can be acceptance from their side, and then only they go ahead. So challenging, this entire system, first of all, with respect to what possibility exists, and marrying these process engineers and IT teams together to deliver a good digital initiative is the foremost challenge, I say. But from my experience, I am seeing, because we are running this program for more than 2 years now in HMEL, after initial successes they see, because in some of these programs we are seeing the ROI is coming in as less as 2 to 3 months of time. So that means for rest of your life you will be benefited by that. In case you are able to convince them, after that acceptance of the whole program and the whole digital initiatives goes up. Thank you.
Gaurav, your views.
Hello. To get end-to-end benefit of the digitization, there are certain things which we have to find, which we have to delve within our organization, and we have to understand our own concept or our own situation first. We have to see that what is the end intended benefit I want to arrive, what are my present systems, how do I will go to change management, how, so it's very important to strategize, conceptualize, do a orderly rollout and prepare a holistic plan that this is how POC will be rolled out, this is how it will be scaled up, and it is very important to strategize in a way that we know the big picture and we also know the end picture. Among all the technocrats, sorry to be sounding like a management consultant, but prior to that I was working with McKinsey, but it is very important not to just have a technology, but we have to keep governance structure in place. We have to know that what will my users be doing with the solutions, what will be the KPIs which will be moving from one place to another place. Lastly, cannibalization. It is very important to see whether a digital solution which I am implementing is eating away pie of any other platform or not. So we have to take entire organization and all the platforms available within the system and see that it holistically integrates with the other platforms. It's not that the two similar solutions are leading to only the same benefit. So in that case, only one of them will be true. Lastly, I would say for an end-to-end digitization roadmap, we have to see that all the pieces of puzzle fit together and not that they are moving in a different direction. And among everything, we have to see the cost of transformation. What is that I am going to get after the transformation happens, and what is the amount of investment we would be making? And lastly, we also have to see that we implement what is latest available in the market, because in years to come, a particular technology which is maybe a 3 to 4 years older, it may become obsolete very quickly. So what we implement, it should be the latest or in vogue, so that it doesn't becomes obsolete very quickly. And we have a total cost of ownership into account. That what is my total cost of ownership? How many years this system will survive, and how many years this system will continue to reap the benefit. Now the second part of the question, challenge. There are challenges which our other panelists also told. Legacy system. I would also say, apart from legacy systems, we have legacy workforce as well. Not just legacy workforce, even the workforce which is coming as a new workforce from the academia, they are having theoretical concepts like they are proficient in engineering, they are proficient in subjects, but there is no connect with the latest technology. There is hardly anything on the digitization front, like they know about artificial intelligence or machine learning or causal AI, knowledge graph, or whatsoever it may be. So there is a deeper connect even in the workforce which is coming. And I would like to even bring this to Pillai ji, that this connect needs to be bridged up. So one is legacy workforce, second is legacy system, thirdly there is a deeper connect even when we have our various platforms. So there are so many platforms which we use in refinery and petrochemical complexes, but they don't speak with each other. There are various vendors and various companies, and there are various types of solutions which do not speak with each other, and they do not have integrity with each other. So when we carry out end-to-end digitalization, it's very important to find a single source of truth. So if two of my platforms are working on a same segment or a same set of data, like if there is one platform which works on reliability, and there is another platform which works on the real-time data to provide automation, we should have a single source of truth, and they should be able to gel very easily. And another challenge which I see is change management. We see that there are certain systems which we are using presently, like in a refinery or in a petchem, we are accustomed to use simulation. We are accustomed to use maybe a software for heat exchanger calculation, and suddenly if we change it to multivariate analysis, or we say that we build a layer of artificial intelligence and machine learning over it, there is a trust deficit, and there is also it needs to build up into the day-to-day work. If some recommendation is coming from artificial intelligence or machine learning or from advanced analytics, what is the frequency the technical services will provide to the operation? Every 3 hours, every 4 hours, every 2 hours, or every 1 hour, or every minute. So real-time optimization is not a real-time optimization unless we set up a governance process. So we try to put a governance process for even the near real-time optimization, like we will give recommendation, we will run the software every 4 hours or every 2 hours, or in a 8 hours time we will give recommendation, and then that artificial intelligence or machine learning software will be used to further optimize the operations. So these are the certain challenges which I feel are the important ones.
Thank you, Gaurav. Now we come to what are the new and innovative digital practices that these companies are planning to adopt, and how will it help in business growth, and the technologies being adopted or will be adopted, what are the tangible benefits? So I start with Manish Groverji.
Thank you, Prashant. I think very good start to the challenges and the end-to-end digitalization started by them. Uh, to answer the question directly, we embarked upon this digitalization drive with an agenda 5 years ago, and we very fondly call this drive called the iDrive, which is driving the digital agenda for Indian Oil Corporation. And we had the help of a strategic partner in the form of Gurney with us. Now, in terms of the digital technologies which we have adopted and the practices which we have gone ahead to adopt and bring them at par with the global and the peers in the company, have been in the form of 5 major pillars. 3 have been the great value drivers in the form of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Second being the robotic process automation. Third being the improving the tech stacks of the entire corporation in terms of custom tools which are already available, which can improve a lot of things in the company. Fourth being the data, how we manage the data management platforms. Fifth being the change management around the story. And the last but the lowest, which we added, was some of the game changers which can actually drive a different value chain for my company. So in terms of the technologies, if I look at the 2 main technologies which are really driven value to Indian Oil Corporation has been the AI and ML, which we have brought up in our refineries, in our OT operations, and in our customer handling operations. More than 40 to 50 such AI-driven and machine learning-driven programs have been developed by in-house teams along with the help of our consultants. And the open goal which we had when we started for refineries, where nothing was really happening other than the automation which was there, provided by the 4 major players. Nothing was coming in form of to optimize the operation, to maximize the yields, to predict the maintenance schedules of important things like heat exchangers. Today, we are into all these spaces. I agree with Mr. Mittal here that we think big, we start small, do a POC, then expand horizontally. The way we have done in the form of heat exchangers. Now today, about 300 such heat exchangers are being predicted, when to be changed, when to be taken forward to. Similarly, for FCCU unit, we have gone ahead and done the optimization. Now we are trying to integrate that with APC to make a new product out of this entire thing. Similar stories for FPU, similar stories for MS Blend. So these are the technologies, and AI/ML, when I said, has been the game changer for us. Then we brought in a lot of RPAs to take care of my repetitive but very, very complex transactions which happen in IOC for filing, let's say, GSTR and all. The finance lapped it up like anything, and many such processes. And today, many processes are being done by the bots in the company, which are being enabled at any point of the day. And more than 50 such processes are there, and 90 more are in the pipeline. Having done that, like, for a small process for a MNC, for them, downloading the tenders and uploading that into GEM is very, very time-consuming exercise, and actually takes away the business times. So we have enabled a bot to do all such things and make them work. So all such examples, going forward, the data management platform has allowed me and my company to run the AML, because today we connect with all the disparate sources, whether it is in OT side, IT side, all my ERPs get connected here. And we are able to extract data from various sources, do slicing and dicing here, and visualize them using our ClickSense tools, which has further enabled. We have democratized the entire situation. Now my people can create their own tools in front end and play around with the data. So one rule which we have made is to make my people part and parcel of our journey, which has enabled me to engage in a lot of change management activities, without which, as they all enable the challenge, nothing is going to happen. For that, we have conducted 3 or 4 hackathons in mobility and recently on GenAI. The best of the examples which we have got, which Microsoft along with us have been able to get out of my own players, are best in the class. And we are on the road to implement them for the benefit of our companies. Similarly, for many other situations like tech stack tools, if I talk about the 3 major tools I'd just like to mention here. One was the end-to-end project management suite for all my 1 lakh crore plus project. I can sit here and look at each of my projects and see where they are going. Second being the end-to-end tender management suite for e-procurement. The procurement activities in Indian Oil are heavy, maybe through GEM, but the entire process has been done from end-to-end process. Going forward, we are looking at creating an ESG platform and a sustainability platform also to look at how my journey will from here on go to 2046. This is a declared year for net zero for us. So idea is that the new technologies, whichever they come, like the Gen AI is the next game, we introduce them to the people, listen to the problems and try to solve them through ideation workshops. And the top pull from the top has helped us to actually create such situations and helped us to bring about these changes in the company. Thank you.
Sir, any new technology that you are still thinking of deploying apart from
blockchain
AI,
is the next
ML and
one,
RPA?
Blockchain is definitely on for a recycled process where we are trying to also see what my other players are contributing to that. The unbottled endeavor which we just started using the PET bottles and the recycle it in the petrochemical industry. I think you want to use the blockchain out there.
Vimalji, your thoughts on this?
See, in our company, as I said, we started this program around 2 years back, and so the key areas which we picked up, I'm talking purely from a refinery perspective. PetroChem is, we stabilized just 3-4 months back only. So right now it is working at a very basic, digitalization program. As far as refinery is concerned, 2-3 tracks. One is, of course, you understand increasing the efficiency of the units. Second is the predictive maintenance, in case you can predict the failure of the equipment and make any prescription around that in terms of what is going to fail, and so that your maintenance costs improve and you are able to reduce unscheduled shutdowns. And third most important is how do you reduce your utilities consumption, be it power, be it O2, be it steam, whatsoever it is. 2 ways we are doing this program. One is, of course, we engage with some of the best partners in the company who are running programs like real-time optimizers or advanced process control, etc. At the same time, there is a mandate we are trying to also build our own competencies, because acceptability of our own people is much higher than the acceptability of the people maybe outside. And for that, as I said, getting the confidence of the business user is always a challenge. So as a strategy, you can say what we have done is there are certain chemical engineers who work in IT team as a part of the IT team. So their acceptability to the business guy is much more. Those people, they do many other programs for me, which is cutting across, application of AI, ML and advanced level analytics into any kind of application, be it improving efficiency or, predicting any failure, etc. And secondly, we are now working on Gen AI part also. One important utility which we are seeing over there is all maintenance manuals, if you see, they are very bulky, very heavy. In case we can make the life of not only maintenance, maybe the process safety guys also, etc. In case we can make their life easier by giving concrete input or recommendation in terms of what has to be done in a particular event is very useful to them. Another big track which we are running. And as I said, we are seeing, a lot of value enhancement. In some of the cases, as I said, ROI is coming in as less as in a quarter's period. So, and I'm seeing, huge potential in improving efficiency. Probably after maybe 6 months or 8 months down the line, we'll start replicating some of these programs into petrochemical business also. Thank you.
Thank you, Vimalji. Gaurav, your company or your group companies are very active on IT and digital. So what are the new activities that you are doing in your company which will change the way that or which will help in making it more smarter or closer to being a smart factory?
Thanks. Definitely, I would like to express here the difference between everything which has been spoken by everyone and between us is that we also have our another organization which is Geo, apart from our O2C business. They also support us on many fronts in terms of digitization. So there is a in-house data, IT and tech support company which we have, and this gives us a closer synergy. In terms of what tools we are using, we are just about using every digitization tool which Industrial Revolution 4.0 has on offer. So one name it and we have it. But the crux of digitization implementation lies in why, how, where and what is make or break for the project. why this technology has to be implemented at this place, how it is to be rolled out, and where it has to be rolled out, and what is the cost benefit analysis. In terms of technologies which we are using, I will just list down, the list is very long, and I will just highlight important ones. Blockchain we are using in supply chain optimization. IIoT we are using at for monitoring our operations, for increasing the efficiency of unit. In hard to go by areas, it is helping us in economizing our operation and increasing the run length. Early event detection by multivariate analysis is another thing which we are doing. It is kind of a predictive maintenance based on IIoT, based on advanced analytics and machine learning. VR and AR, where augmented reality and virtual reality, we are using to train our new workforce. We have created models of our plants and facilities which are like the actual plant. So one can experience going inside the column, going into the distillation column, experience each and every unit without even going inside the particular equipment. So this helps us to train our new people faster for turnarounds, for knowing the equipments. This we are using in training, and we will be doing that for entire O2C for the organization. We are using video analytics to increase our hands-on tool time and also to increase safety, reliability. Video analytics we are covering every part of the plant through various cameras based on the various applications or many things which happen in the plant. For example, like a sample is collected at one place, and if it is a hot sample, we have a camera there, and then it can easily detect smoke and any other abnormality. And this video analytics is giving feed to the line of defense too, not to the operator. Otherwise, the operation people, if they have a camera all over the place and they have their that live feed available, they may not feel enticing to go inside the plant and do their daily rounds, etc. But we have created a separate Vyas video surveillance team which monitors the operations apart from the regular operations and the ones who work at DCS and other facilities. So it gives us a second line of defense. This is another example that using a technology is not important, but to create a right governance structure is an important thing. Advanced analytics we are using to create better operations, safe, reliable, and we are defining operating envelope and best operating zone through that. ChatGPT we are using for creation of reports, and if somebody wants our data quickly, so we are trying to digitize our operations and integrate our design manuals, operating manuals, etc., and one can directly find data from there through ChatGPT. Rather, I should say not ChatGPT, Bharat GPT. We are one of the 8 companies who are part of Bharat GPT. Knowledge graph. This is a groundbreaking technology which we are using. Nobody has used that in oil and gas as yet. This is a technology which combines causal AI plus ChatGPT. So one can simply ask a query and it fetches every other data available. Like it combines the historian data, it combines the real-time data, it combines your design manuals, holistic design books, etc. And one can quickly make reports. One can even ask if a operator is taking a changeover of a fan, it can simply ask that what are the precautions I need to take, and it will give the real-time information, real-time plant data, real-time precautions he has to take, and from the design, it will also check the things from the design books. We are doing at a pilot scale, and if it is successful, we will be rolling it across our different facilities. Large language model we are using for all of our, say, logbooks, and we are able to get the some of, by using large language model, by taking some of the keywords like fire, like shutdown, like startup, our safety team takes a preemptive action, and they get the preemptive data that something may happen at this place. So all the logbooks are integrated in the large language model. And lastly, operation center, which will give end-to-end information for all of our operations, and not just the dashboarding, but it will have all the digitization tools which I told, and it will also give integrated information from all the tools and will be the single source of truth. That's it.
Thanks, Gaurav, for giving a very comprehensive technologies that are being used by your company, and whether in a pilot stage and later on moving to the next phase. Ramesh ji, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'll be brief. So my esteemed panelists have already spoken of most of the technologies that we have been. I'll try to highlight one or two. One success that we had recently was, as you know, we have a vast business network. I'm focusing on business here, not on the process side. 21,000 plus retail outlets, petrol pumps, 6,000 plus LPG distributors, almost 7,000 plus direct customers. These are our sales points, and demand forecasting is one area which is extremely critical that we thought. So we have, using AI ML, we have set up a demand forecasting platform wherein the data that we are using is our own transactional data that we have, supplemented it with external data sources. For example, we are pulling data from IMD for weather. We are taking data like new road projects, data like what new areas are getting developed, traffic data, where the traffic density is moving higher. Using all this data, using ML techniques, we are forecasting the sales. And I'm pleased to announce that we have been getting accuracy of more than 95% for the last almost 1 year. So this is how we have leveraged technology, which has helped us in optimizing our inventory, optimizing the logistics part. So this is one area that we found success. Regarding new and emerging technologies, generative AI, LLMs are the in thing now. To be on the lighter side, we attended a IT symposium, Gartner's IT symposium this year. Unlike previous years, all the topics had an AI included in this thing. So this is the buzz now. So we have also started using it. Like sir said that in refinery, those technical manuals and codes, these are very huge documents, almost 20,000 documents. The technical inspection teams uses this. Earlier it used to be normal document search or word search. Now with these LLMs, you can give contextualized searches. And the conversation is almost like you are using a digital assistant in trying to get the information. So that we are working on. And we consciously are using open source LLMs at this moment and evaluating whether we can go for a platform. Metaverse we have already started. We are doing a POC in R&D, refinery security and safety, as well as one LPG plant. We have created a metaverse environment where there is a collaboration between the trainer and the trainee. So these are certain new emerging technologies that we are using. But the solid foundation is that data. So what we did was we created a enterprise data repository. What Mr. Gaurav said, the single source of truth should be there. So we are pulling data from our ERP system. We are pulling data from our other systems that are there, bringing it to one central place and on top of it, we are doing analytics. So this was a foundational thing that we said, we'll have a data repository and then build on top of it. Others, like we have experimented with drone technology. This is something that we have done for our pipeline.
Do you also have, sir, anti-drone? Because that's what people say for a security purpose, anti-drone, to douse the drone which comes into your campus.
Well, I'm not exactly sure. What POC we have done is that a stretch of pipeline we have been monitoring for security purposes. And furthermore, if I see, we have done POCs on robotic loading arms, not on the shop floor. Shop floor, it's an old technology, but for using it in the field operation. For example, loading the cylinder, LPG cylinder into trucks. So can we use these? So these are certain emerging technologies and new technologies that we have been using.
Thank you, sir. One question was when you said demand forecast, what is the number of variables that are there?
So variables would be more than 100.
Okay.
With primary is historical sales data, last 4 years month-wise historical sales data for each point, supplemented with actual sales from our retail automation, plus these external data. We are subscribed to macro and micro economic data points. So for example, one district, what is the GDP growth? How is it affecting my sales? What is the increase in that district with number of vehicles being registered? Something like that. So these are the examples of external data that we are using.
Thank you, sir. Manish, if you can talk about how you're leveraging digital tools and data management techniques for business optimization. I would request all of you to be short and brief, because Partha sir has not spoken.
All right. No, we'll like to be brief and just touch upon, because in terms of using digital tools and data management platforms, I think we have touched the topic here. Because as I said in my opening remarks, that one of the platform approaches is to use these tools, and one of the tools which we have really gone ahead was the digital management tool or digital management platform, which we have installed as a single source of truth in terms of the TIPCO platform with a single store, which allowed us to create this AIML to be run in this COE what we do. We have got the historians and the streaming data connected from all my 9 refineries and pipelines out here, including my ERPs. We have embarked upon creating this platform, and today almost 40 here, 50, almost 100 such analytical agencies have been carried out and given to the fields for taking decisions. So largely what has happened is this has allowed me to take evidence-based and data-driven decisions to the field and making them aware what is going to happen. Along with this, obviously we embark on certain more tools in terms of visualizing the data and allowing our people to play around with what is being seen by them. This has also allowed me to bring about 3,000 plus KPIs of my company visible to my chairman, to director, to the last player, which are data-driven, connected with the data from where it is being created. Some unstructured data still remains, which comes from outside the sources. But this has the ability to scrap the net, also bring in the data and then put it in the formats what we have decided. Apart from that, the other techniques which we are using and the fields on top has been that making this data also useful for certain of our RPAs which I mentioned. There also these data platforms have allowed us to play around and do the works which were otherwise being repetitively been done by the people in our company. Going forward, GenAI being the new tool and the hackathon which we just conducted with more than 800 teams, we have 33 such ideas which are developing. And in terms of the ideas, and the most effective ideas are from the material and contracts, from refinery side, learning the last 25 years project learnings to implement my new projects. We have showcased to the board how we can do the delay analysis around that using the chat GPT. and we have created a COI in our company, and it is being run with a view that going forward, many such things which we have mentioned here, whether it is in HR, legal, CC, we are able to provide these things to our people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we come to the second part of it. One is obtaining or achieving sustainability goals, and it cannot happen without digitalization. So how will digitalization help in achieving sustainable goals or sustainability goals by the company? And I would request Partha sir, if you can talk about that, and then a few thoughts from Manish ji.
Very good afternoon. So I think everybody, I could see that there is so much of talk. So they apparently they are on a different mood, and just before lunch, it's very difficult for me to really put across. Let me try. It is my hearty welcome to all the dignitaries on the dais, my panelist, Mr. Prashant, who has been, I've been seeing since morning, has been doing a wonderful job. And he has been in the backbone of doing everything which I keep on noticing him. My beloved audiences, who has been one of the larger part of the entire process. And also I welcome the audiences who are listening remotely. So this is, as a set, that makes a lot of difference. So now coming back to, when I talk about this digitalization and this kind of forum, actually the theme really makes me take in a different platform. The theme says that we being the Indian must have a larger audacious goal, big picture. Unless you have a big picture, an audacious goal, you really don't achieve. Which, in my mind, India should have been, but somehow that did not realized. The China has gone up, all parts of the Asia Pacific, whether it is China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, all have progressed. Even the Europe, they have taken over. I am basically chemical engineer, so I will be, giving a picture and thought process which basically dear to my heart. So I see the process. When I close my eyes, I see the process. That's the beauty of my, our process. And the business of chemistry, carbon as a chemistry would have done a different storyline in our economy. But that did not happen, which is a lifeline. And for that matter, the entire full length of chemistry per se should have been a different, structure, and the process would have been which we as Indian did not have. And I cannot really claim that we have everything that way. So our past leadership, what they have done actually, they have bought the technology and we have started copying. We have done good. I am not saying that we have not done anything. We have done a good amount of job. But the kind of penetration, our ownership and the technological development, that did not happen. So how do I see that? Now it is the time that we think in that direction. And for that, it's not that it is not, we are not knowing. If you look at the history, in 1901, our visionary leader, Dr. Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray, who established first chemical company in India based on indigenous technology. Somehow, that storyline got derailed because we did not think that point of time it was a necessity, but that was a mistake. But we should not repeat that mistake again. And this is the time we capture on our capabilities. And now the technology is going to deliver all that values that we are talking about. So to cut the longs, and this should have been, so ultimately why I am saying this is going to really offset. It's a net trade deficit country to a trade surplus economy, which China and USA have done that. So we need to attain that kind of, territory. So if you want to attain that kind of territory, you have to think different. All these things we have been buying from rest of the world, which is not the thing we want. We want our own country based on our own merit, where the space could do it. Why we cannot collaborate? So that is where the missing link, we need to capitalize on it. So to cut the long story short, I must say that on behalf of the Indian economy and the development plan, ICN doing a great job reaching out to all stakeholders in the economy, the government, industry, academia, everybody, reaching out personally, talking their feedback and giving it to the public. This is a great job they have been doing. I am not really, as a saying, as an anchor, but what I am saying, that is the kind of mandate ecosystem we need to have as a country that they are doing. I definitely clap for that kind of activity they have been doing. So please do that. And we, as an industry partner and the individual, should help this kind of platform to do that. So as an industry, we grow up together, where sharing and nurturing talent is one of the biggest thing we need to do. So gentlemen, so now coming back to the sustainability. So sustainability, if you look back the entire carbon business and the ecosystem, when a operating company have one kind of mandate and then upcoming, new site or industry you are going to set up, that will be different. For operating company, you need to build different kind of systems and platforms so that you can really track on real time, which the present day technology is very, very helpful, which was not there before. We need to keep on calculating and look at the numbers and do some kind of things. Now it will be readily available. You can really, across the different, operating units, the equipment, whether it is a unit based or it is a plant based or as asset based, you can really monitor and see where you are. Ultimately your safety, your reliability, everything I bring on, the productivity, the performance, energy efficiency, wherever you sign, I must have a kind of roadmap. These are my different, the projects that I have. Here, this is my benchmark. This is the straight line I have. And now I need to go. This is there ought to be a timeline. In 5 years' time, I need to, this is my delta. So this is the XY plot. There is a straight line I am today. I want to go back in the 5 years' time. These are the projects. So it is a per unit specific numbers that I need to attain, whether it is a carbon footprint that will ultimately result into where I am. So all these ultimately translate into an actionable on day-to-day routines. You don't minimize your shutdown time, minimize your, equipment downtime, your slowdown, etc., so that you attain the intended objective of your, say, the scope 1 per se. But if you take the entire set, starting from material origin, of raw material to finished product, where it is going, if the entire, the system you see, this upstream, the raw materials, the manufacturing and the suppliers, you need to look at everything. That is the way world is going to move going forward, gentlemen. And where every stakeholders need to involve and share the data so that you can, as an overall basis, will be improved on the numbers and bring down the carbon footprint which we are looking at globally. And as a company, we have the stake. Every company will have a stake. The government of India has taken that mandate so that we can bring down holistically, objectively, through transformation, digital operations, every set together that will help to reach that kind of numbers and goal.
Partha sir, I will come back to you because we have a whole set of questions for you going ahead. Manish, sir, your thoughts on sustainability goals and what are the steps that your company is taking?
Yeah, thank you. I think in terms of driving our sustainability goals, we are very sure and very clear that digitalization is a way forward, but because it is going to and is giving us tools, technologies and the places by which I can optimize my operations and increase my, stakeholder engagements in many, many ways. And the ways which we feel it is driving us in the form, first is the data-driven decisions, allowing us to, as we said, to collect vast amount of data, make sense out of it, and out of them then see what are the things which need to be optimized, the waste part, the STP, all kinds of data are being collected. So in terms of sustainability, we have to know and see where we are, assess it, then see what are the things we need to do to take our steps forward. Second terms is the energy management solutions which the digitalization provides, is in the form of IoT sensors which we provide in the refineries, and the energy management solutions which we have employed, which allows us to look at my current levels of production, energy consumptions, how to optimize, are we within those numbers, and the vectors which are available to us. Going forward, third part is when we move on to the directions, whether the optimized and the renewable energies which we are trying to enact. Now, looking at it, that today we are engaged in certain kind of energies which we are consuming, but going forward, we are switching over to renewable energies. For example, in retail outlets, we switch over to solar and many such things. So these platforms are allowing us to mark out those areas where we can take those interventions, look at those interventions when they're employed and see their impacts. So today the goals are completely set. Third part is collaborating with our other partners who are going to be engaged. We are looking at scope 1, scope 2 today. Going forward, it is going to be scope 3. So all my customers, all my people who give materials to us are going to be connected with this. The digitalization is the only way I can actually bring about these optimizations and some of the changes which we need to do and allow other third players to connect with us. In terms of the path forwards, as I said earlier, the data management platforms are in place. We have created a platform for the net zero goals, and net zero team is in place. And all these blocks which I just mentioned are being built around this. So I feel without the intervention of the tools and technologies which are being provided by digitalization, it will be a humongous task to actually manage a sustainability problem.
Thank you, sir. With respect to digital twins, how is it fitting into the new manufacturing unit and what value does it add? I would request both our speakers, Partha sir and Gaurav Vyas, to just make brief remarks because we are already reached 1:55. So, and we would like to wrap up in another 5 to 10 minutes. So, brief remarks, sir. Point-wise answer, जो होते हैं ना, multiple choice questions. So,
Actually,
I know you are an expert on digital twins, so that's the reason.
actually, digital twin, really, it is also another, I just briefly point that digital twin actually originates from the concept of NASA critical project. Dr. Michael Greaves, who really conceptualized, and that becomes, fundamental change, brought many changes in the industry as a whole. So what it does, it's basically, it's a physical product in the real space, virtual product in virtual space, and when you connect the data, information and data, between the two, the real and virtual, what it does, bring the, magic in it. So, as a result, while saying that, it has three major connotations side by side. You have the ability to compare, then compare, collaborate, and then another part to it, so that it becomes, gives a larger collaboration across the different segments, departments, etc., etc. So when you go in further down, it has three dimensions. If you take a X, Y, Z axis, one is the the system based as a system, as a process as a system. The time, every process has a time. What point of time, what kind of parameters it is coming. There's a time dimension to it. And third axis is a life cycle management. Life cycle management, what I say, starting from R&D, when we, now the earlier part I have explained, the R&D, whatever you do, start capturing as a part of the extension of digital twin, go into the engineering, then construction, commissioning, operation maintenance, finally. This is the life cycle. So it gives the entire breadth of your capability, and even while doing, without constructing a plant, you can really make a lot of difference. Every part you can see and optimize. As a result, your cost of investment, energy footprint, your everything, you can make compact so that you become much more. That is the investment cost optimization part of it, OPEX as well as CAPEX. That's the beauty of it. So you can think as asset twin, you can think of as a unit twin, and it's all that. So this is a very, very big thing which I could not have thought of maybe 10, 20 years back. That was not. Now the data is very cheap, that the computational power is very high, and I can see through, close my eyes, these are the different units. I can see how it really happens, and you can do optimize everything, the whole plant before you have started constructing. That is the beauty of digital twin, you can capitalize. And that is the way future is going to come up. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for at least abiding by the rules. Gaurav, any addition to whatever Partha Sur has added?
What digital twins are doing is future-proofing operations. This is the most important thing which they are doing. Secondly, for digital twin, every organization should come up with its own definition of what is digital twin. Whether it is just simulation plus AI, ML, or a 3D model. So digital twin is a broader term, and every organization needs to do that what is that. It is helping us to respond better to the market conditions. This is another thing which digital twin is doing. Further, you all must be knowing new product development, what if scenarios, doing what all sir told. Without going inside the plant, I can see that what is happening in the plant. I can change the conditions, and maybe if I talk about future proofing, let us say a particular unit is tomorrow fed upon with 20% biomass feed, one can do that and see that what will be the result in digital twin. That's all.
Thank you, Gaurav. Two questions for Partha Surji. One is our speakers talk elaborately on AI part and how they are going to use. If you can join the missing link, whatever they have not said. So that's one part. And with respect to digital maturity models, if you can club both these in 60 seconds, sir.
Actually, now I'll try both the things short, keep it short. Actually, the AI, integration of AI it's not that we think it's a buzzword. It is really coming into reality. I could see from the media, there are two plants. One is in Japan, JSR. They have gone remotely. They are AI-driven plant now. They are claiming it has come into the media. So, and another plant, two plants they have already done. That means it is a reality. It is not that it is not possible. But my point is, see what AI can do actually, the digital twin, there are all the things, the different technology that we have clubbed together, the computer vision, the edge, the IoT, and the digital twin, the historian, etc. The plant in real time, the supply chain, all these things, the HR, the strategy part of it, the procurement, the construction, project, etc. If you think about it, so what it does, it is nothing but a Google. Say, this is what would be my profitability in the next month, having given these inputs of data, it will answer like ChatGPT, large language module, all they talked about. but, there is a but in it, I think, for the beginners, those who will be thinking ahead, it has to be very, very robustly sounded, made on a, it has to be on a dedicated network. The cyber security, etc., has to be taken care, and it has to be, you know, come up step by step. What is more important is the data that comes in the system has to be very, very validated. When you search in the Google, there is the other day I was just listening on one research I was telling that Google, what they are populating for the name of, you know, the different companies for building the AI, they are trying to put all the data which is not the real thing and not validated. That's creating a lot of confusion. So my take is here, for going into that kind of maturity, it has to be step by step, I need to grow up and put whatever data that I fit in, it has to be validated. It has to be calibrated. So that's why my accuracy level will be much more. My own data, it is safeguarded. Lot of guardrails are put in so that I get the real picture. That's very, very fundamental. So I keep it there. So I think all the gentlemen, they have already shared what is all about. I'm not going there. Now coming back to maturity, digital model maturity, that's the second question. So there are two parts of it. One is the organizational part. Okay, there are organizational or process dimension. Organizational dimension, process dimension. Organizational dimension to it is what kind of organizational structure that we have, company has, what kind of leadership they have, what technology they are going to adopt, and what are the, the basic to the culture. The technology, I say, what kind of technology management adopted and what kind of cyber security it has. And now coming back to the process dimension part of it, the processes. It is, first is the performance management, second is the process management. Every process that rolled out, how it is done actually. The business partner collaboration, how social are we, how we are tying up different organizations, that is an important part to it. So there are 3-4 parts, and then go back, and when I rolling out in the industry setup, I must have, what are the way it is going to be seen, how do I prepare it? First is the preparation, then the assess. If I go for any kind of that, many of our fellow panelists, they talked about when I go for adopting any kind of digital application, how do I make a paper first, the validation part of it, assessing part of it, then I infer, yes, this is the kind of project I am going to take, and finally what kind of improvement I see. So if you see all that aspect, there are series of areas that you must look at. The first is the organization. When I have done that, now coming back to the validation part of it, where I am. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, where I am today. What are the different sets I am going to check? First point is organization. Where the organization is,
Sir,
in terms of structure, culture, 20 innovations, seconds, okay, value creations, value propositions, customers, how the customers are engaged. So all this, if I take it, then you come out and then put different, value numbers come out. I need to improve. So ultimate objective is improvement. And lastly, for your assessment, third party engagement is very, very important, where ISO, etc. come picture. So if you see the entire process of maturity, the maturity will not come within a day. It will, over the years, it will get matured. Adoption of new technology will make you do that. Step by step, that will happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One last question to Gaurav, and I would request if you can be short and precise. With respect to using digital tools for safety risk, improving productivity, and adhering to environmental goals. So
Can you
30
repeat?
seconds.
Can you repeat your question?
Using digital tools, so how can companies reduce safety risk, improve productivity, and adhere to environmental goals?
All right. So using all the digital tools, we can have an enhanced safety, enhanced carbon, reduce footprints, because what we cannot measure, we cannot improve. So first thing that digital tools bring is the visibility, and we can measure in a transparent and in a real-time manner. This is what digital tools are bringing. From it is taking us from people to platform, from intuitive to factual, from manual to digital. So this is the critical shift which is happening through digital technologies. I will not take much time. I will be happy to talk about all the technologies which we have and all the technologies in the market available, and what it can do to enhance the safety, security, yield, improvement in yield, energy, throughput and quality. I can talk about everything, but because of time paucity, I will stop here only.